Hello and welcome to this video. In this video quickly I want to show you how you can deploy a simple React app to GitHub Pages. Right now my app is hosted locally. You can see I have localhost colon 3000, but now I want to have the app online and I want to show you how you can use GitHub Pages to host your application. So what I have here is just a simple React app created with the create React app module. It's just a counter right here. You can increase or decrease the counter. And if I go to the projects here, you can see just the same files as when you create an application using the create React app. So what I just did was changed the app.js and also the app.css. So right here I'm using the use state, and here in the use state I can remove this. I don't need that. Let me just set this to 0. So I have this counter variable and the counter method to update this variable, and I have two methods, the increment and the decrement method. So the increment method just call this counter and then passing in the variable. This takes a callback and increase the value by 1. But for the decrement, because I don't want the value to go below 0 when decrementing or reducing, I don't want it to go below 0. So what I did was here use a ternary operator. So if the counter is greater than 0, then we reduce the counter by 1. Otherwise we just display the counter. And here you can see I have a button, I have the div to display the value and the button to increment. So this is just all we have right here. So I want to show you how we can host this using GitHub Pages. The first thing to do is we'll have to create a GitHub repo for this. So go ahead and create a GitHub repository. So I'll go to github.com and I'll create a new repo right here, and I'll call this counter. So I'll call this counter. I don't need any description. You can just click on create, set a name. If you want to add a description, you can set a name. If you want to add the readme or add git ignore, I will leave all that. I'll just create the repository right here. Now what I'm going to do is just follow these commands right here. So let me save this. I'm going to stop the server. Git status, let's see. So this git init command has already been run. When we created with the create React app, it automatically initializes the application or the project to use Git. That is why you can see with this git init command, you can see the changes that are made. Now the next thing is for us to run git add and then git commit. So clear this, git add all, because I want to add every change. Then the next is git commit -m for message, and you can set first commit right here. Now after this, the next is to add the remote. So just copy this part, git remote add origin. So I'm going to add that right here. Now we've added the remote. We can add this git push, but I will leave that for now. What I'm going to do is go to the settings. Let's just check. Scroll down here, GitHub Pages. Right now you can see I only have the master branch. I'm not going to select this. When we add the GitHub Pages module and we push, we are going to get another branch, which is going to be the GitHub Pages branch. That is the branch that we can select. So our application will be hosted using that particular branch. So right now we have created the repository. Now go into your package.json, but before that let me install the module, because the module takes a bit of time to get installed. Now the module that we want to use is the gh-pages module. So I'm going to be using npm. You can use npm or you can use yarn, but I'm going to be using npm right here. So I'll type npm install. Now this is going to be a dev dependency. So -d or you can say --save -dev, whichever one you want to use, and then you add gh-pages. So this GitHub Pages module is going to be added as a dev dependency. So add this as a dev dependency. And this is going to take some time to get installed. So while this is installing, we can go into our package.json file. So here in the package.json file, you can see this JSON with the different properties, the name, which is counter, what we created right here, the name of the repository. And then we have some other properties. Now we are not going to touch this dependencies object. Once the module is installed, it's going to create a dev dependencies object right here. But we need to make some changes inside this file. Okay, so right here you can see the module has been installed. If I open the terminal, right here you can see it has been installed, and I have this dev dependencies object, GitHub-Pages, and version 2.2.0. Now we need to add some configurations right here. The first thing I'm going to add is the homepage property. So add a new property, probably at the top here, call it homepage, and this is going to be the homepage for the app that we want to host using GitHub Pages. And we are going to use the URL https:// Now the first part is going to be the name of the GitHub account, which is this right here. You can see mine is Uzo Eddie. This is the name of the GitHub account. So add yours here, .github.io, then / the name of the repo, which is counter right here. I'll call this counter. So the homepage property is going to be https:// the name of the GitHub account .github.io, then / counter. Then this counter is the name of the GitHub repository, whatever you called it here. Now this is the first part. Then the next part is we need to go to this scripts object. This is what the create reactor app uses when we want to start the app, or we want to build, test, or run, or eject. Well, we are not going to look into that. We just need to add two commands. The first is the pre-deploy, because we need the project to be built or create a build folder. So I'm going to run or add pre-deploy. Now what we are going to be deploying is going to be whatever will be added in the build folder. So when we run the command yarn run build or npm run build, there's a build folder that will be created, and that build folder is what will be deployed or will be hosted. So here I'm going to add npm run build. So first it's going to run this pre-deploy command so that it creates or builds the project, and then the next is going to be the deploy command, and this we are going to add gh-pages-d build. So it's first going to run this pre-deploy, which is npm run build. Then once this is command is called, it's going to create a build directory, and then that build directory, that is what is going to be deployed to GitHub, and then we can access the app using this URL we've added right here. So this is just all we need to add inside the package.json file. So add this homepage right here, then add this pre-deploy command and the deploy command right here. So right now you can go ahead if you want. If you want, you can push this, but let me try to see. Now, before I run this git push -u origin master to push the code, let's run the deploy command. So now for us to deploy this, we need to run npm run deploy or yarn run deploy, whichever one you are using. So npm run deploy inside the project, hit enter. Now this is going to start. First, you can see it run this build command. You can see right here I have the build directory, and inside the build directory it's going to create an index.html file, and inside that index.html we're going to have every code we have or files we have right inside the source will be added to this index.html, and this is what we are going to see when the app goes live. And now after running the build here, it ran these scripts as well, and then the next thing was to deploy, running this deploy command. Now it says the app is published, and you can see it ran the GitHub Pages dash because it first created this build folder. So now let's try and see if we can access the application. Let me copy this part. I will just close this right here, and let's see. And now you can see I have the app here, and you can see the URL is the URL that I specified here. If you go back to settings, then scroll down to GitHub Pages, you can see it says GitHub Pages is designed to host your personal, this is just some information. Your site is published at this URL, and it's using this GitHub Pages branch. So whenever you push changes, it's going to add it to this GitHub Pages branch, and then we can see right here the counter. So this is just the easy step you can use to deploy your React application if it's just a simple application using the GitHub Pages. So now what I need to do is I can just add this command. Right here you can see I have this GitHub Pages repo. I don't have the master branch right now, so here I can push to git push -u, I think master, if I'm not mistaken. Now I need to look for the command to add, but right now you can see we've been able to deploy, and we have this GitHub Pages branch, and right here we can see our application is online. You can share this link if you want someone to access the app that you hosted or deployed. You can just share this link. So right now we've been able to use the GitHub Pages module to deploy or host a simple application made with the Create React App module.